I'm back doing the diary. I know I skipped over June, but I had no time at all, so I just, decided not to do it. But I have watched quite a few movies, and I'll keep it a lot shorter than, a typical 12-minute video. Starting off July, I watched Uncharted for the first time, and all I gotta say is, it's not that good. Could have chose a better person for Nathan Drake. Chose a better person for everyone in the cast. Could have done a much better movie. It's just not very good. Then I watched Headshot, starring Iko Uwais, the guy from The Raid. It's starring the guy from The Raid called Headshot. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, but it has decent action scenes because it's a guy from The Raid. He always does good action scenes. Then I watched The Other Guys for the first time, and it's just genuinely hilarious. Probably one of the best buddy cop comedies I've seen. Continuing that, I watched The Devil All the Time for the first time, and all I gotta say is, it's good cinematography, decent, meh story really, good acting, especially on Tom Holland and Robert Pattinson, but overall just not very engaging, bit of a boring movie really, and just, it's okay. Continuing that, I watched The Revenant for the first time, and well, it's amazing. It's a really good movie, and it was a movie I will never watch again. I would definitely recommend it, but it's heavy and gritty and realistic and just so rough to watch, and it's really good. Then I watched Hero, starring Jet Li for the first time, and it's easily one of my favourite movies. It has some of the most beautiful cinematography I have ever seen. It's absolutely amazing, and I would definitely recommend it. It's pretty hard to find, but I have the Blu-ray, so. Then I watched The Raid 2 again, and yeah, there's nothing I need to say. It's The Raid 2. It's brilliant, especially that kitchen fight. There's nothing I need to say. Then I watched Under the Skin for the first time, and it's probably one of my favourite A24 movies. It's unique, it's horrifying, it's mesmerising, it's absolutely beautiful to watch. Scarlett Johansson delivers one of her best performances in my opinion, and it's just one of the best alien movies I've ever seen. Then I rewatched Kung Fu Hustle, and needless to say, it's a masterpiece. I don't need to say much. It's one of the best Kung Fu movies out there. Definitely go watch it if you haven't, and watch it if you have. Then I rewatched Tenet, which in my opinion is Nolan's best film to date. It's creative, it's mind-bending, you don't need to think too hard. You're encouraged to think, but thinking's not going to get you nowhere. It's unique, it's amazing, and I just love it. I don't know why, but I think it's easily his best. Then I watched Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, and it's a decent send-off. Nothing compared to the first three, much better than the Crystal Skull, but yeah, it's a fine send-off. Did it need to be made? Not really, but I'm glad it was, because it was pretty decent. Then I watched Del Toro's Pinocchio, which is one of the most visually stunning movies I've ever seen, one of the best stop-motion movies, probably the second best, underneath Chicken Run. Definitely recommend it. Then I watched Django Unchained, and I don't need to say much. It's really good, and you should definitely watch it if you're a fan of Tarantino or just a fan of westerns. Then I watched Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 for the first time, and it's fine. It's not as good as Fallout, nowhere near as good as Fallout, nowhere near as good as Rogue Nation, nowhere near as good as Ghost Protocol, but I think it is still pretty decent, just kind of drawn out for too long and lacks focus and tension in parts. Then I watched The Big Short for the first time, which was entertaining, but I did not really understand what the hell was going on. I don't know what the fuck they were talking about. Yeah, it was good though. Then I watched Outlaw King for the first time, and I did not expect to like it, but I actually loved it. It was a very, very good movie, very well made, beautiful cinematography. Everyone gives a pretty good, performance, especially Florence Pugh. She stands out here, as she does in every movie. And yeah, it's a definite recommendation from me. It was pretty good. Then I rewatched Kill Bill 1 and 2, and I think, yeah, I like them a bit more this time, but they're definitely not in my top Tarantino. They're okay. Then I watched The Shining for the first time, and needless to say, it's just amazing, insanely scary, one of the best horror movies ever made, that without a doubt. Then I watched Barbie for the first time, and I don't need to say anything. This movie gave me energy, and it made me realize that I am Knuff. That's all I need to know. I am Knuff. This Barbie is a masterpiece. Greta Gerwig is amazing, and I am Knuff. Then I watched Oppenheimer in IMAX, and it's, in my opinion, Nolan's second best movie. The sound is perfect, the soundtrack is brilliant, the cinematography is amazing, the bomb is beautiful, it's Cillian Murphy, everyone delivers an amazing performance, and I think it's destined to become a future classic alongside Barbie. Then I watched The Killer by John Woo for the first time, and I think it is brilliant, really. It's just an amazing movie, some of the best cinematography, best acting, best action, just a really good movie all around. Short and sweet and very good. Definite recommendation if you like action movies. Then I rewatched John Wick Chapter 4, which is easily the best and easily one of my favorite movies, and is just brilliant. That's really all I need to say. It's absolutely brilliant. Then I rewatched Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, which I didn't really enjoy the first few times, but this time I actually really loved it. I've come to appreciate the third act for how small it is. Just the atmosphere of them two people running around in London in the dark. I didn't like it because it wasn't as bombastic as the others, but this time I really appreciated it, and I just think this is easily one of the best in the franchise. Finally, I rewatched The Dark Knight, and I think it's not the masterpiece everyone makes it out to be, but it is a very good action thriller, and it's pretty good. It definitely changed the entire genre of superhero movies, but I don't think it's a masterpiece everyone makes it out to be, but it is nonetheless a very good movie. And those are all the movies I saw in July. I'll probably do a diary for August because I still don't have a lot of time in August, and I'll have less time in September since I'm going back to senior high, but I'll do as much as I can. That's all I got.